Hi guys, I'm Tim from FitTech Studios and this is my main man Dan. I'm going to take him through the warm-up of day 2, starting with the forward kayak. So we know we're gripping the floor with our feet, arms to shoulder height, locking that core, and he's going to sweep that through, starting off slow, get yourself coordinated into the movement, and then slowly picking up that pace, and making sure you're locking that core, squeezing the butt, gripping those feet into the floor. Nice, and cranking out about 30 seconds of that. Lovely. And then we're going to go into medicine ball slams. So Dan, if you'd like to grab your ball. Okay, so we've got a bit of an angle there, and he's just going to take that up above his head, slam it into the ground. And of course, the more rapidly you do this, the higher your heart rate's going to get, the quicker you're going to warm up. Nice work. And from there, he's going to grab the lighter ball, with which he's going to do some quick twists. So we'd like to face the camera there, Dan. All right, so when he's doing these twists, we want to keep that ball nice and close. So you're going to reach it about just past your hip with a little bit of an extension in the arms. Yep. Towards me. So we're going pushing, then you pull it into your torso and push out the other way. Boom, boom. Yes, nice. Again, gripping the feet to the floor, locking the core. How do you lock the core? The faster you can do this. This ball doesn't have to be heavy here, but this is a very effective way at warming things up. Lovely. And from that position, we're going into the backward kayak. So would you like to grab your stick again, Dan? Lovely. So before he was moving forward, so now he's going to go the reverse of what he did before. So again, gripping the feet. Nice. So although it looks very similar, it works very different muscles and warms them up nice. Making sure he's locking that core, cranking out those for 30 seconds. Now the last activity for the warm-up, we're going into something called the quad stance to sumo. So Dan, if you'd like to get down into quad stance, please. Okay, so this can be loaded or unloaded. So at this stage, this is your standard quad stance. His knees are on the ground, so it's an unloaded quad stance. And from here, he's going to step into the sumo. So feet beside the hand, sitting down, bum's nice and low, back's lovely and straight, core's on strong. And then stepping that back out into that quad stance. Lovely. We'll just do a bit of an advancement of this too. So he can go from this position here, jumping into the sumo. So both legs move at the same time. Cool. And get that same position. Now the jump is going to make it, it's a lot more dynamic, so we have to make sure that that core's on really, really strong. Jumping back. Nice. And if he wants to make it even harder, we can load it, meaning the knees stay off the whole time. Now this is the last exercise for the warm-up, so by this stage it should be nice and warm. Just push up in here. Making sure we're pushing this up too, guys. Back of the neck's pushing up to the ceiling at all times. Jumping back through, jumping back. So forward, back, forward, back. And as Dan's probably feeling now, it's very effective to warm up the body. Beautiful, bro.
I wasn't sure if you're going to stop it.
That was golden. Nice, and that is the warm up for day 2. Looking through the exercises for the day 2 program. Firstly, we're going to start with a kettlebell. We're going to do some self-support one-arm rows. Now this is super important to get your stance correct on this one. So if Dan's going to be pulling with his right arm, that means his left leg is going to be forward. Yep, so let's just move that back a bit. Yep. Cool. All right, so we've got a nice little angle here. So we've got a nice gate through the feet placement as well. So Dan, if you'd like to grab that. Now what we need also is a nice straight flat back. Now some people find this difficult to coordinate, so let's just show them a couple of these reps. So that was a good row there. So if Dan only really needs to bring his arm, his elbow up to the side of his torso, and that's high enough. So 1, 2 like that. 1, 2. If Dan has the flexibility, he's going to put his arm behind his back like that. So the arm that is not lifting, if you could do that with it, Dan.
We'll show sideways.
Yep. So Dan's got that arm back there. He's going to squeeze his shoulder blades together very, very firmly. And he's going to drive that arm over as much as he can. And he's going to feel his arm touch his fingers. Or he's going to feel it getting close. Boom. Nice. Let's square that up. Now this is a difficult one to get right. But if you can hold this position, then our muscles are primed up, ready to do what we want them to do. Now, that's a goodie. Now that is a difficult one, so what we're going to do is just a regression of that. So if we can just roll that big ball in, please. Okay, Dan, we'll go to the left arm, so we'll give the peeps a side view of that. So your right foot's forward.
Yep.
All right. So what Dan's going to do is he's going to put that hand on the ball. Now by doing that, he's going to find it easier to get that back nice and flat. Cool. Now he's going to row that up. Boom. But remember, we only want to get that elbow up to the height of the torso. That's high enough. Any higher, so if you bring that right up, Dan, we start to get a twist and we start to squeeze and lose the integrity of our shoulder blades here. So we just only really need to go up to that point there. Nice. Now Dan's got some support here too to help him just recognize what his body needs to do. As he gets stronger, he can then put his elbow on his knee. Yeah. And we keep that same position. So this is still the self-support. We're driving that up. Get a nice little hold there. Nice. It's a lovely progression.
Nice.
Cool. And the progression from that, if you'd like to do that again. Sorry, Dan.
Yep.
Same arm.
Same arm.
We'll work it. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
No worries. Okay, so without the ball, probably should have let him.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's all right.
bring it back in. We'll cut that.
Yep.
All right, so here is a progression. So we're going from the ball to do the row without the ball. But so Dan, if you can put your right hand on the ball, right foot's forward, left hand's on the kettlebell, left foot's back. We've got this nice flat position here. Okay, so Dan, would you like to do one row? He's going to bring that elbow up to the side of his torso. Lovely, take that down. Now he's going to take that hand to behind his back. Cool. He's keeping it flat, and he knows and recognizes how long he needs to be here. Boom, so that's a progression of it. Lovely. Cool. Dan, can we change our orientation so we're kind of facing the camera a little bit?
Yep.
Yep. So getting that same position. All right. So we've moved from here to the hand on the back, lower back. And now Dan's going to bring that arm out to the side. Boom. We've got the position. We're holding it nice and strong. He's feeling really good. And there you go. So that is the progression of the self-support one-arm row. And then to make this a bit tougher, he can also hold a dumbbell. Nice workout. Ooh. Yeah. We could do a workout just on one-arm rows. Nice. Now we're going to go to the torso twist. Okay, so we've got a little bit of an angle there. So Dan's just going to lie down on the floor. He's going to place that massive ball between his knees. Now this can go between the knees or between the ankles, whatever feels comfortable for you. So Dan's just going to put his arms up. So they're going to come away laterally from his body. He's got this nice little transverse thing happening. His knees are nice and high as well. So what's really important here when you're in this position is that the knees are superior to the hips, meaning they are higher than the hips. They're always constantly going towards the chest. Now whilst he's holding that position, he's going to draw his belly button down to his spine. He's going to push that lower back into the floor as hard as he possibly can. And he's going to take those legs over to the side, keeping that nice and strong until that leg touches the floor or gets close to it. We give it a bit of a pause, pull the belly button in, drive it up and over all the way to the other side. Nice, with a nice controlled tempo. You don't rush this one. Pull the belly button in, up and over to the other side. And as you can tell, Dan loves this one. It's a goodie, eh? Yep. So we'll just take a pause for a moment, just lower your feet to the floor. So we've still got that ball between there. Now to make this a bit tougher, we can add a stability element. So if Dan's got his right hand on the kettlebell, then he's going to put his left hand out to the ground. Now that one there, this hand that's out on the floor needs to be pushing down into the floor. This one here needs to be reaching up all the time. So you're going to bring those knees back up into position. Make sure you're pushing down in that hand. Now what Dan's going to do is he's going to take his legs over to that side. Boom. And he's always pushing this up. Always pushing that up. Drawing the belly button in, bringing it up over to this side, and then taking it over to the other side as best he can. Make sure you're pushing through here, bro. Always pushing down on that hand. Drag it up. Now you're going to find that you can't go as far with that side that's weighted. Let's do one on the other side to show people from this angle. All right. Beautiful, man. Squeeze up, knees up. Keep that above your shoulder. Right, knees up a bit higher, man. Tummy strong, so Dan's going to take the ball over to me first. Tummy is super strong. He's pushing up through that kettlebell. He's driving that other hand down into the floor. He's bringing that up, and he's going to take that over that way as far as he can without losing it. Tummy strong. Beautiful, man. And then, nice. And we'll give him a quick break. Just take his legs down. Stay where you are, Dan. I'm going to show you the next one.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got one more progression from this.
Yep.
So that's the tough one.
Yep.
And yeah, if we can get that, great. But now, we've got 2 kettlebells. All right. So this is really challenging a lot in the way of the torso. So now that Dan has to hold 2 kettlebells up, he's activating all of his anterior serratus, which helps support his scapula. All right, so knees are going to come up again. Really, really hold that, my man. So he's squeezing that ball. He doesn't want to lose it. His knees are higher than his hips, and he's going to take it over, drawing in that belly button, pushing those kettlebells through the ceiling if he can, and he's driving them up and over to the other side. So this is quite an advanced torso twist. Nice. It's very challenging. He's keeping that movement nice and slow, nice and controlled, keeping a hold of what's happening here. Beautiful, my man. Nice work, Dan.
Thank you, man.
All right, guys, we're now moving on to the third exercise of day 2, which is the kneeling deadlift, kneeling to standing deadlift. Okay, so Dan's got his medicine ball there. Okay, now this can get quite heavy as you get quite strong. So from that position, Dan's going to step into a sumo. So bang, bang, and then he's going to stand up and bring the the medicine ball to his chest. And then he's going to lower that back down, squatting down, deadlifting down, and going back into that kneeling position. Lovely. So it's very similar to a quad stance to sumo. The other option here is he's going to come up off his knees at the same time onto his feet, roll that ball in, drive it up, pull it to his chest, which is much like a Atlas ball lift. Roll it out, place it down, and roll it back. Nice. So it's coordinating, getting knees moving, and so on. So just go back to from there to the sumo. So stepping up. This is what we're all familiar with. Bang, bang, up. Take it down and back. Bang, bang. Good. Beautiful. And that is the kneeling to standing deadlift.